In today's digital landscape, data is the lifeblood of organizations. But with this reliance on data comes increased vulnerability to cyber threats. One such solution is rapidly gaining traction: security information and event management, or SIEM. SIEM acts as a centralized system, diligently monitoring and analyzing security alerts from various sources within an organization's IT infrastructure. By correlating data from firewalls, intrusion detection systems, antivirus software, and more, SIEM can identify patterns and anomalies that would otherwise go unnoticed. This allows organizations to detect and respond to threats in real time, minimizing potential damage. In essence, SIEM empowers organizations to stay one step ahead of cybercriminals. Imagine a Security Operations Center, SOC, as a bustling hub where cybersecurity professionals work tirelessly to safeguard an organization's digital assets. Within this hub, SIEM serves as the central command center, providing analysts with the tools and insights they need to effectively detect, analyze, and respond to security incidents. SIEM aggregates and analyzes vast amounts of security data from various sources, including network devices, servers, databases, and applications. This data is then correlated and presented in a meaningful way, enabling analysts to quickly identify potential threats. Without SIEM, SOC analysts would be drowning in a sea of data, struggling to connect the dots and identify malicious activity. When a security alert is triggered, SIEM provides analysts with the context they need to understand the nature and scope of the incident. Armed with this knowledge, SOC analysts can quickly take steps to contain the threat, remediate any damage, and prevent future attacks. In the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats, simply reacting to incidents is no longer sufficient. Organizations need to adopt a proactive approach to security. And this is where SIEM shines. By providing a holistic view of an organization's security posture, SIEM enables security teams to identify vulnerabilities and take steps to mitigate them before they can be exploited. For instance, SIEM can help organizations identify weak points in their network security by analyzing traffic patterns and identifying unusual activity. This proactive approach to security helps organizations reduce their attack surface and minimize the risk of a successful breach. Moreover, SIEM can assist organizations in complying with regulatory requirements. By logging and monitoring security events, SIEM helps organizations meet the stringent requirements of regulations such as HIPAA, PCI DSS, and GDPR. Imagine a fisherman casting a wide net into the ocean, hoping to catch a variety of fish. Similarly, SIEM casts a wide net across an organization's IT infrastructure, collecting data from numerous sources to build a comprehensive picture of its security posture. SIEM collects data from a diverse range of sources, including network devices, security appliances, servers, databases, applications, and even endpoints like laptops and mobile devices. This data can include anything from firewall logs and intrusion detection system alerts to user activity logs and application logs. The goal is to gather as much relevant data as possible to gain a holistic understanding of the organization's security environment. The data collection process typically involves deploying agents or connectors on the various systems and devices within the organization's network. These agents or connectors are responsible for capturing security-related events and logs and forwarding them to the SIEM system for analysis. Collecting vast amounts of data from disparate sources is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in aggregating this data into a centralized location where it can be analyzed effectively. This is where SIEM's aggregation capabilities come into play, bringing order to the chaos of raw security data. SIEM acts as a central repository for all the security data collected from various sources within the organization. It receives a constant stream of logs, events, and alerts, which are then normalized and stored in a structured format. This centralized approach to data management provides security analysts with a unified view of the organization's security posture, making it easier to identify patterns and anomalies. Instead of having to log into multiple systems and consoles to view security events, analysts can access all the information they need from a single pane of glass. This streamlines the security monitoring and incident response processes, enabling security teams to work more efficiently. The effectiveness of a SIEM system depends largely on the variety and volume of data it collects. To gain a comprehensive understanding of an organization's security posture, SIEM needs to tap into a diverse range of data sources, each providing unique insights into potential threats. Firewalls, often considered the first line of defense in a network, generate logs that provide valuable information about network traffic, attempted intrusions, and blocked connections. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS/IPS, take this a step further, actively monitoring network traffic for malicious activity and generating alerts based on predefined rules. Servers, the workhorses of any IT infrastructure, generate logs that can reveal unauthorized access attempts, malware infections, and other security incidents. Databases, which store an organization's most valuable data, generate logs that can indicate data breaches, unauthorized modifications, or other malicious activities. Imagine trying to understand a conversation where everyone speaks a different language. That's the challenge security analysts face when dealing with raw security data from multiple sources. Each source may use different formats, timestamps, and naming conventions, making it difficult to correlate events and identify patterns. SIEM addresses this challenge by normalizing the data it collects, transforming it into a standardized format that can be easily analyzed. This process involves parsing the raw data, extracting relevant fields, and mapping them to a common data model. Normalization ensures that data from different sources can be compared and correlated effectively. For example, a firewall log entry indicating a blocked IP address can be easily correlated with an authentication log entry showing multiple failed login attempts from the same IP address. Raw security data, in its original form, is often unstructured and difficult to understand. Parsing is the process of extracting meaningful information from this raw data, breaking it down into smaller, more manageable pieces that can be analyzed by the SIEM system. SIEM uses parsing rules, often based on regular expressions or other pattern matching techniques, to identify specific pieces of information within the raw data. For example, a parsing rule might be used to extract the source IP address, destination IP address, and timestamp from a firewall log entry. These rules act like filters, sifting through the data and picking out the most important pieces. Once the relevant information has been extracted, it can be used for a variety of purposes, such as correlating events, generating alerts, or creating reports. For example, the extracted source IP address from the firewall log entry in the previous example could be used to search for other security events involving the same IP address, potentially revealing a pattern of malicious activity. Imagine trying to solve a crime by looking at individual pieces of evidence in isolation. SIEM's true power lies not just in collecting data, but in its ability to correlate this data, to find meaningful relationships between seemingly unrelated events. Correlation in SIEM goes beyond merely identifying identical values across different data sources. It involves understanding the context, sequence, and timing of events to uncover hidden patterns and anomalies. For instance, a single failed login attempt might not raise any alarms, but multiple failed attempts followed by a successful login from an unusual location that paints a different story altogether. SIEM employs various correlation techniques ranging from simple rule-based matching to advanced statistical analysis and machine learning algorithms. These techniques help analysts sift through mountains of data and identify the proverbial needles in the haystack, those subtle indicators of compromise that might otherwise slip through the cracks. It's like having a bloodhound with a keen sense of smell. Correlation sniffs out the faintest traces of malicious activity. Security data in its raw form is like a collection of disparate threads, firewall logs, authentication events, intrusion alerts, each telling a small part of the story. Correlation is the art of weaving these threads together to create a coherent narrative, revealing the bigger picture of what's happening within the organization's IT environment. For instance, a series of seemingly unrelated events, a spike in network traffic from a particular country, followed by multiple failed login attempts on a critical server, and finally a successful data transfer from that server to an external IP address. When correlated, could point to a sophisticated cyber attack in progress. By connecting the dots between these events, SIEM helps security analysts understand the attacker's tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs. This information is crucial for incident response, allowing security teams to quickly identify the scope of the breach, contain the damage, and implement measures to prevent similar attacks in the future. It's like solving a mystery. Correlation helps identify the culprit and their modus operandi. Cybercriminals are constantly evolving their tactics, finding new and ingenious ways to exploit vulnerabilities and bypass security measures. However, even the most sophisticated attacks often follow certain patterns, a series of actions or behaviors that, when correlated, can reveal the attacker's true intentions. SIEM plays a crucial role in identifying these attack patterns, providing security teams with the intelligence they need to stay ahead of the curve. For example, an attacker might first attempt to gain a foothold within the network by exploiting a known vulnerability in a public-facing web server. Once inside, they might move laterally, compromising other systems and escalating their privileges. Finally, they might attempt to exfiltrate sensitive data to an external server. Each of these actions might trigger different security events, but when correlated, they reveal a classic pattern of a targeted attack. By recognizing these attack patterns, SIEM enables security teams to implement proactive measures to disrupt the attack cycle. Correlation in SIEM is not a random or arbitrary process. It's governed by a set of predefined rules that define the relationships between different security events. These correlation rules are the heart of the SIEM system, dictating how data is analyzed and what constitutes an anomaly or a potential threat. Correlation rules can be simple or complex, depending on the specific security needs of the organization. Simple rules might look for identical values across different data sources, such as matching a username in an authentication log with a username in a firewall log. More complex rules might involve analyzing the sequence, timing, and context of events, looking for patterns that indicate malicious activity. For example, a correlation rule might be defined to trigger an alert if there are more than 3 failed login attempts from the same IP address within a 5-minute period. This rule would help detect brute force attacks where an attacker repeatedly tries to guess a user's password. Traditionally, security measures have been largely reactive, responding to threats after they have occurred. However, with the increasing sophistication of cyber attacks, this reactive approach is no longer sufficient. SIEM, with its ability to correlate data and identify patterns, is enabling organizations to shift from a reactive to a proactive security posture, anticipating threats before they can cause damage. It's like having a crystal ball, but instead of magic, it's powered by data and analytics. Predictive analysis in SIEM involves using historical data to identify trends and patterns that might indicate future security incidents. For example, by analyzing past attack patterns, SIEM can identify systems or applications that are more likely to be targeted in the future. This allows security teams to prioritize their efforts and allocate resources more effectively, strengthening defenses where they are most needed. It's like predicting the weather. Historical data helps forecast future events. Moreover, SIEM can use machine learning algorithms to identify anomalies that might indicate emerging threats. These algorithms can detect subtle changes in network traffic, user behavior, or system performance that might not be noticeable to human analysts. This early detection capability gives security teams a valuable head start, allowing them to take preemptive measures to mitigate threats before they can materialize. It's like having a sixth sense for danger. Predictive analysis helps anticipate threats before they become visible. While SIEM plays a crucial role in data correlation, it's important to remember that it's not a magic bullet. SIEM is a powerful tool, but it's only as good as the analysts who use it. Human expertise and intuition are still essential for interpreting the results of correlation, separating false positives from genuine threats, and making informed decisions about incident response. It's like having a powerful telescope. It can magnify distant objects, but it still requires a skilled astronomer to interpret what they see. Security analysts bring their knowledge of the organization's IT infrastructure, their understanding of attack methodologies, and their experience in incident response to the table. They use this expertise to fine-tune correlation rules, investigate alerts, and determine the best course of action. It's like having a seasoned detective on the case. Their experience and intuition guide the investigation. Moreover, analysts provide the crucial link between SIEM and other security tools and processes. They might use SIEM data to trigger automated responses, such as blocking malicious IP addresses or isolating compromised systems. They might also use SIEM to generate reports for management, providing visibility into the organization's security posture and the effectiveness of security controls. It's like having a conductor leading an orchestra. The analyst orchestrates the different security components to create a harmonious defense. Imagine a security guard patrolling a vast warehouse, constantly on the lookout for anything suspicious. Suddenly, a motion sensor is triggered, setting off an alarm and alerting the guard to a potential intrusion. This, in essence, is the role of alerts in a SIEM system. They serve as the red flags, drawing attention to potential security events that require further investigation. In the world of SIEM, an alert is a notification generated when the system detects an event or a series of events that match predefined rules or thresholds, indicating a potential security risk. These alerts are designed to grab the attention of security analysts, prompting them to investigate the situation and determine if a genuine threat exists. Think of these alerts as smoke detectors in your digital house. They don't necessarily mean there's a fire, but they warrant immediate attention. Alerts are generated based on a variety of factors, including correlation rules, anomaly detection algorithms, and threat intelligence feeds. For instance, an alert might be triggered if a user attempts to access a restricted file, if a system exhibits unusual network activity, or if a known malicious IP address attempts to connect to the network. These alerts are like clues in a detective novel, pointing towards potential threats that need to be investigated. In an ideal world, every SIEM alert would represent a genuine security incident, demanding immediate attention. However, the reality is far more nuanced. SIEM systems often generate a high volume of alerts, many of which turn out to be false positives. Events that, while matching the alert criteria, are not actual threats. This can lead to alert fatigue, where security analysts become overwhelmed by the sheer number of alerts, potentially missing real threats hidden within the noise. This is where the critical task of alert prioritization comes into play. Just as a triage nurse in a busy emergency room must quickly assess patients to determine the severity of their conditions, security analysts need to prioritize alerts based on their potential impact and likelihood of being a genuine threat. This involves analyzing various factors, such as the source of the alert, the assets involved, the severity level assigned by the SIEM, and any corroborating evidence from other sources. It's like panning for gold. You need to sift through a lot of dirt and gravel to find the valuable nuggets. To further reduce noise and focus on the most critical alerts, SIEM systems offer various filtering mechanisms. These filters allow analysts to fine-tune the alerts they receive based on specific criteria, such as the time of day, the type of event, the source IP address, or the affected system. These filters are like noise-canceling headphones, blocking out the irrelevant sounds and allowing you to focus on the important ones. Imagine receiving a coded message that holds the key to solving a critical case. In many ways, a SIEM alert is like that coded message. It contains valuable information about a potential security event, but this information needs to be deciphered and interpreted correctly to be actionable. Understanding the anatomy of a SIEM alert, the key components and their significance, is crucial for effective incident response. A typical SIEM alert comprises several key elements, each providing a piece of the puzzle. The alert name and description provide a general overview of the event that triggered the alert, while the severity level indicates its potential impact. The timestamp tells you when the event occurred, crucial for establishing a timeline of events. It's like reading a news report. The headline gives you the gist of the story, while the details provide context and background. The source IP address and the affected system identify the origin of the potential threat and the target system, respectively, while the event details provide specific information about the event itself, such as the type of event, the protocols used, and any data transmitted. These details are like the forensic evidence at a crime scene, offering clues about what happened, how it happened, and who might be responsible. A SIEM alert, while valuable in itself, is just the first step in a longer journey, the incident response process. This process, much like a well-rehearsed fire drill, outlines the steps that security teams take to investigate, contain, and remediate security incidents, minimizing damage and ensuring business continuity. Once an alert is received, the first step is to verify its legitimacy to separate the false alarms from the real threats. This typically involves gathering additional information from various sources, such as log files, network traffic analysis tools, and threat intelligence feeds, to corroborate the alert and gain a clearer understanding of the situation. It's like conducting an initial assessment of a crime scene. You need to determine if a crime has actually occurred before launching a full-blown investigation. If the alert is deemed credible, the next step is containment, taking immediate action to limit the damage and prevent the threat from spreading. This might involve isolating affected systems, blocking malicious IP addresses, or disabling compromised user accounts. It's like containing a fire. You need to prevent it from spreading to other areas while you work on extinguishing it. In the face of increasingly sophisticated and rapidly evolving cyber attacks, relying solely on manual incident response is no longer sustainable. Automation is becoming increasingly crucial for security teams to keep pace with the threat landscape, allowing them to respond to alerts faster, reduce the workload on analysts, and improve the overall efficiency of the incident response process. Think of automation as having a team of tireless robots working alongside your security analysts, taking care of repetitive tasks, and freeing up human expertise for more strategic decisions. SIEM systems offer various automation capabilities that can significantly streamline alert response. For instance, automated workflows can be configured to enrich alerts with additional context from external sources, such as threat intelligence databases or vulnerability scanners, providing analysts with a more comprehensive view of the situation. It's like having an assistant gather all the relevant files and information before a meeting, allowing you to focus on the discussion at hand. Furthermore, SIEM systems can automate certain response actions based on predefined rules. For example, if an alert indicates a brute force attack on a user account, an automated response can be triggered to temporarily lock the account or block the source IP address, preventing further attempts until a security analyst can investigate the situation. It's like setting up a security system in your house. If an intruder is detected, the alarm goes off, and the lights turn on automatically, deterring the intruder and giving you time to call for help. The effectiveness of a SIEM system is not static. It requires continuous monitoring, tuning, and refinement to keep pace with the ever-changing threat landscape. Alert rules in particular need to be regularly reviewed and adjusted to ensure they are still relevant, accurate, and effective in detecting the latest threats. Think of it like tending to a garden. You need to regularly water the plants, remove weeds, and adjust the conditions to ensure healthy growth. One of the key challenges in SIEM management is finding the right balance between sensitivity and accuracy. Setting alert thresholds too low might lead to a deluge of false positives, overwhelming security analysts and potentially causing them to miss real threats. On the other hand, setting thresholds too high might result in false negatives, where genuine threats slip through the cracks undetected. It's like calibrating a sensitive instrument. You need to find the sweet spot where it's sensitive enough to detect subtle signals without being triggered by background noise. Regularly reviewing alert logs, analyzing false positives, and incorporating feedback from security analysts are crucial steps in the continuous improvement process. This allows organizations to identify areas where alert rules need to be tweaked, perhaps by adding additional conditions, adjusting thresholds, or incorporating new threat intelligence to improve their accuracy and effectiveness. It's like fine-tuning a musical instrument. You need to make small adjustments to achieve perfect harmony. In the digital age, where cyber threats lurk around every corner, organizations need all the help they can get to protect their valuable data and systems. SIEM has emerged as an indispensable ally in this fight, providing a powerful set of tools and capabilities that empower security teams to detect, analyze, and respond to threats with greater speed and effectiveness. Just as a medieval fortress relied on its sturdy walls and watchful guards, modern organizations rely on SIEM to defend their digital perimeters. SIEM's strength lies in its ability to aggregate and correlate vast amounts of security data from various sources, providing a holistic view of the organization's security posture. By connecting the dots between seemingly unrelated events, SIEM helps uncover hidden patterns and anomalies that would otherwise go unnoticed, revealing the subtle footprints of malicious actors. It's like having a team of expert trackers piecing together clues from the digital wilderness to track down cybercriminals. But SIEM is more than just a detective, it's also a proactive force in cybersecurity. By analyzing historical data and identifying trends, SIEM can help organizations anticipate future threats and take preemptive measures to mitigate risks. It's like having a weather forecasting system for cyber attacks, allowing organizations to batten down the hatches and weather the storm before it hits. Behind every successful SIEM implementation is a team of skilled security analysts who act as the brains of the operation. SIEM doesn't replace human expertise, rather, it amplifies it, acting as a force multiplier that allows analysts to accomplish far more than they could with traditional security tools and methods. Imagine giving a master craftsman a set of power tools. They can now create works of art with greater precision and efficiency. SIEM provides analysts with a centralized platform to monitor security events, investigate alerts, and manage incidents. It automates routine tasks such as log analysis and alert correlation, freeing up analysts to focus on more strategic activities such as threat hunting and incident response planning. It's like having a team of assistants handling the paperwork, allowing the CEO to focus on the big picture. Moreover, SIEM empowers analysts with advanced analytics and visualization tools, allowing them to explore data from different perspectives, uncover hidden relationships, and gain deeper insights into the threat landscape. It's like giving a detective a magnifying glass and a fingerprint kit. They can now analyze evidence with greater scrutiny and accuracy. The benefits of SIEM are undeniable, but implementing and managing a SIEM solution can seem like a daunting task, especially for organizations new to the world of advanced security operations. However, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and taking those first steps towards SIEM adoption can be easier than you might think. It's like embarking on a new adventure. The initial steps may seem uncertain, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Start by assessing your organization's specific security needs and challenges. What are the most critical assets that need protection? What are the biggest threats facing your industry? Once you have a clear understanding of your security posture, you can start evaluating different SIEM solutions to find the one that best meets your requirements and budget. It's like choosing the right tools for a job. You need to consider the task at hand and the resources available. Don't underestimate the importance of planning and preparation. A successful SIEM implementation requires careful consideration of factors such as data sources, network architecture, integration with existing security tools, and most importantly, the human element. Training your security team to effectively use and manage the SIEM system. It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation and a well-thought-out plan to ensure a successful outcome. The world of cybersecurity is in a constant state of flux, with new threats emerging every day. SIEM, too, is evolving to keep pace with this dynamic landscape, incorporating new technologies and capabilities to stay ahead of the curve. Just as a chameleon adapts to its surroundings, SIEM is constantly evolving to meet the changing demands of the cybersecurity battlefield. One of the most exciting developments in SIEM is the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML. These technologies are being used to automate even more tasks, such as threat detection and incident response, freeing up human analysts to focus on more complex and strategic activities. It's like having a team of AI-powered assistants working alongside your security team, providing insights and recommendations based on their analysis of vast amounts of data. Another key trend is the move towards cloud-based SIEM solutions, offering organizations greater flexibility, scalability, and cost-effectiveness. Cloud-based SIEMs also provide access to a wider range of threat intelligence feeds and security services, enhancing their ability to detect and respond to threats. It's like having a global network of security experts at your fingertips, providing real-time protection against the latest threats. As SIEM continues to evolve, one thing remains clear: its role in cybersecurity will only become more critical in the years to come. Organizations that embrace SIEM and invest in the skills and expertise needed to harness its power will be well-positioned to navigate the ever-changing threat landscape and protect their most valuable assets. The future of cybersecurity is here, and SIEM is leading the charge.